Hello my friends. In this video we're going to talk about the differences between two log crossing techniques, the log punch and the double blip. Both techniques can be very handy out on the trail, but you'll need to decide which one is more suitable depending on the obstacle you're faced with. Let's start with the log punch. The log punch is less advanced and easier to execute than the double blip. The goal with the log punch technique is to land on two wheels on the other side of the log. We punch our front wheel into the log and carry on the throttle until the rear wheel leaves the log. The trick is to stay on the throttle long enough to let the rear wheel drive up the log. That's what allows us to jump over the log and land on two wheels instead of dropping the front wheel first. This technique is especially handy when we have a second obstacle that we need to clear with the front wheel or even both wheels. The double blip is a little bit more technical. It requires two blips of the throttle and a good weight de-weight of the suspension. With the double blip, you still want the front wheel to hit the log, but it's more of a wheel placement than a punch. Instead of hitting the log on the way up with your wheelie, we want to start our wheelie further back and place the wheel as it's coming down from the wheelie. As the wheel comes down on the log, you need to compress the suspension, and then as you get on the throttle for the second time, you unweight the suspension to lighten that rear wheel as much as possible to help get it up onto the log. The punch technique is handy on logs up to about this size, maybe a little bit bigger. Once you get bigger than this, you start to get an undercut section at the bottom, and that makes it hard to drive that rear wheel up. So once you get to a log where you've got an undercut section at the bottom, or maybe, something like this, that's when you're gonna wanna get into something like a double blip, where you can help that rear wheel with that second blip up onto the log, rather than relying on hitting at the bottom and driving up.